Welcome, Dominica. This is Kairi TV News and I am your presenter, Donella Revere. Here are the headlines. More support for residents of the East affected by the trough system earlier this month. Japan's ambassador to Dominica reaffirms continued relations between the two countries. And Dominica's youngest political party to contest the upcoming general elections. We will be back with more details of these stories and more after the break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need. PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050 or 612-1265. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Thank you for staying with us. We begin with news that residents of the East affected by the recent weather system will receive financial support to ease the financial burden of families struggling to recover. Here is Linda Martin with the details.
That's according to leader of the Dominica Labour Party, Roosevelt Skerritt, following his latest visit to the East on Wednesday. Emergency supplies have already been provided to the residents while road clearing works continue and utility companies work tirelessly to restore water access and electricity to the area. The DLP leader says impacted farmers will also receive support.
This month, families will start receiving household allowances. So each family will get an allowance to support their family, income support. We'll also be supporting farmers and businesses who would have been impacted by the storms. We'll be having meetings in Saint-Sauveur and in Castle-Bruce on Sunday to update the residents on these actions so that we can ensure that everybody is fully aware of what we're doing. And likewise, we'll have the same in La Plaine and Délis and Grand Fond, Montreal early next week.
Mr. Skerritt says efforts are ongoing to mitigate against the impact of climate change in Dominica. Approximately $127 million are being spent on roadworks in the East.
All of this is to mitigate against the impact of climate change. And I think once the road is completed, it will place the Eastern District in a much better circumstance to withstand and to bounce back from these climatic events. It will not stop the climatic events, but certainly it will help us withstand in a better position. And of course, we'll continue to spend some money on the southeastern communities. A new bridge in a new term will be built in Rosalie.
Mr. Skerritt went on to note the relocation of several families is also on the cards. A commitment has also been made to rebuilding new resilient homes for the vulnerable residents.
In respect to housing, there are several families that have been impacted. There's one community one hamlet in Pidisofre has been cut off. We're seeking to create some level of access so people can certainly benefit from their properties there. But I think they have all agreed now a long-term solution to that issue is with regards to relocating them. And so the number of actions will be taken. One, we're going to be putting in place a committee of leaders from these communities, from Pidisofre, Saint-Sauveur, Good Hope, so that they too can assist us in identifying possible locations to site those new residences. The intention there is to try not to move too far away from Pidisofre and Saint-Sauveur. So we will be looking at options on that, and that will be discussed with the residents at the meeting on Sunday.
Mr. Skerritt reiterated the call for immediate action to be taken at the global level to combat climate change. Linda Martin for Kairi TV News.
Thank you, Linda, for that report. Taking a look now at the agriculture sector, farmers are better equipped to implement climate change practices on their holdings. Vanessa Bruno explains.
Farmers around the island having a better understanding of climatic information in order to make decisions on farm practices are now better equipped to implement new approaches and processes in agricultural production. A number of individuals and farmer groups participated in a review exercise on Wednesday to look at the relevance of the Participatory Integrated Climate Services for Agriculture, or PICSA, a proactive approach to agricultural extension and climate services aimed at helping small-scale farmers to address challenges associated with a variable climate. Participants at Wednesday's program considered results from an assessment of the efforts of PICSA for farmers in the parishes of St. Patrick, St. Paul, and St. David. This initiative was implemented in Dominica between 2020 and 2022 under the Strengthening Disaster Management Capacity of Women in Dominica and the Cooperative Republic of Guyana project.
For the last 2.5 years, we have been implementing project entitled Participatory Integrative Services in Agriculture, PICSA. That is a tool that has supported farmers in terms of understanding climatic information to make decisions on their farm practices. And we've collaborated and partnered with the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology and the University of Reading. And over the past years, we've trained 30 extension officers who has then trained 336 farmers with a percentage of 70 women, being 70% of women being trained from the 336 farmers. And so today we really just, this workshop is really just about speaking about the impacts of the training, what exactly was done, presenting the findings of a monitoring and evaluation exercise that took place last May, where we engaged a certain section of the beneficiaries we trained to just understand the implications, the impacts, the lessons learned in terms of applying the PICSA approach to their farming practices.
Ms. Fabian says, despite the many challenges and issues faced by farmers in the implementation of such practices, it is encouraging to know that the results can be impactful.
You could hear from the voices of the beneficiaries how impactful the efforts and the commitment that was exhibited is seen in the results of what came out today from the presentation. So we're seeing that a lot of farmers will have made some changes in terms of their crop. They would have made some changes in terms of areas they would have to mitigate against and adapt to in terms of disasters as a result of the training. And we're really appreciative of the efforts that both the extension officers have placed into imparting the training, and of course the farmers for actually implementing the training. It's one thing to receive training and go home and do nothing about it, but a lot of the farmers will have made some changes, and we're really thankful and appreciative that at this juncture of the project we are hearing these positive results from the voices of all of the individuals who were involved, the stakeholders, extension officers, the beneficiaries, the farmers, and of course our partners who work closely with UNDP.
This project was executed by the United Nations Development Programme, the UNDP, with the support of the government of Japan. Vanessa Bruno, Kairi TV News.
Thank you, Vanessa. On to other news. As the political climate in the country heats up, Team Unity Dominica reveals plans if elected into power. Team Unity Dominica has revealed its plans for Dominica if elected into power at the December 6 general elections. The three pillars which hold the TUD's agenda for the nation are jobs, youth involvement, and economic remodeling. The TUD claims they will create jobs, ensure greater involvement of the youth in decision for the island's housing stock, and embark on a total remodeling of the island's revenue sources.
We will focus on these three ideas to improve the lives of Dominicans. The first one being jobs. Jobs meaning employment, small business, jobs in larger corporations, the entertainment industry, tourism and agriculture, agro processing, among others. We will put Dominicans to work. The second area, youth involvement. The total revamp of our local housing stock, which will come under the care of the NYC, that is the National Youth Council, through the Youth Division. And the third area being the remodeling of the Dominican economy, which now is totally dependent on the sale of passports, to an economy based on agriculture, which will be the main driver for growth.
Meantime, Team Unity Dominica says despite contesting the December 6 general elections, the party will not reveal its candidates or leader until after nomination day carried for Friday, November 18, 2022. Speaking at a press conference Wednesday evening, a spokesperson for the TUD, Carlos Charles, noted the party believes in equality among members. Therefore, there will be no dedicated party leader.
The Team Unity Party is intending to contest enough seats to form the next government. At the appropriate time after nomination day, we will present our candidates, including our leader, to the general public. The Team Unity doesn't believe in saying leader as is commonly said. We believe in an inclusive, we have a leadership team. But for the purposes of the elections, we will have a leader.
You're watching Kairi TV News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050 or 612-1265. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Welcome back. In matters of tourism, the construction of a modern cruise terminal is on the cards for Dominica. Speaking at a recent DLP rally, Dennis Charles, who held the tourism portfolio in the last Labour Party-led government, reassured the public that a modern cruise terminal is carried for the city of Roseau.
In Roseau, plans for the new cruise terminal are progressing very smoothly. This facility will allow us to attract many new and mega ships that are now coming off the production line. I am proud to say that Dominica will be one of the few ports in the Caribbean that can accommodate these new vessels when our new terminal is complete.
A highly anticipated feature of the state-of-the-art terminal will be increased exposure for local vendors and their products.
This modern cruise terminal will also house a new vendors arcade. And yes, before you ask, I want to assure you, the new vendors arcade will promote everything local by Dominica.
Charles affirmed the country's commitment to bolstering the number of visitors to the island and spoke to the potential benefit of the world's longest cable car system already under construction in Dominica.
We cannot rest our laurels and not push to develop what we have been naturally blessed with. Having the second largest boiling lake in the world is a blessing. But even better will be having a cable car, which will allow many more people to enjoy this rare attraction. Works are ongoing. Rope lines and anchors are being installed. Upon completion, more jobs will be created for tour guides, restaurants, bars, vendors, and other auxiliary services.
And Japan's ambassador to Dominica pledges continued relations between the two countries. His Excellency Yutaka Matsubara-san believes, as island states, the two countries share much in common, especially their susceptibility to the effects of climate change. Matsubara-san, who was speaking at the recent opening of the newly refurbished Roseau Fisheries Complex, says over the years Japan has developed its disaster risk management capabilities and the sustainable use of marine resources as important areas of its development cooperation internationally, including the Caribbean.
Both our countries, Dominica and Japan, share many similarities as island states. One of the most significant similarity among them is the relationship to the ocean that surrounds us. In addition, we must not forget our vulnerability to extreme weather events made worse by climate change. It is because of these similarities that Japan has long prioritized both disaster risk management as well as the sustainable use of marine living resources as important areas of its development cooperation internationally, including here in the Caribbean. A recent demonstration of this commitment to the sustainable use of marine resources was the government of Japan's high-level participation at the Eastern Caribbean Ministerial meeting on fisheries held in Antigua last month.
The Japanese government played an integral role in the restoration of the Roseau and Marigot fisheries complexes, which were extensively damaged by Hurricane Maria. You're watching Kairi TV News. Stay tuned for a recap of the headlines right after this.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050 or 612-1265. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
To end the news, the headlines again. More support for residents of the East affected by the drought system earlier this month. Japan's ambassador to Dominica reaffirms continued relations between the two countries. And Dominica's youngest political party to contest upcoming general elections. Tune in to 107.9, 93.1, 91.1, and 88.7 to catch our radio newscasts at 6:30 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. Tune in to Flow Channel 953 at 8 p.m. Monday to Friday to watch our TV newscasts with repeats at 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Kairi FM. Check us out on Instagram at Kairi FM and follow us on Twitter at Kairi FM Dominica. Feel free to visit our YouTube channel to catch up on any newscasts you may have missed. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Donella Rivia. Thank you for watching.